Live from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of Super Bowl 52 and the Minnesota Vikings. We welcome the fans watching from across the globe on the Monster Jam Facebook page, as this is Monster Jam Live. Fans, we are getting ready for Monster Jam, and we are going to preview the action, and we're also going to let you hear from some of the biggest stars in Monster Jam, as they will be right here with Monster Jam Live. And now, to get us started on Monster Jam Live, let's send it down to our behind-the-scenes pit reporter, Scott Jordan.
Right over my right shoulder, you see the most decorated truck in Monster Jam World Finals history, Max D. And right here, crew chief Josh Dyke. Josh, you guys have had an up-and-down year. You had to go from a big injury to Tom. You came back strong. Talk a little bit about your journey from seeing Tom go down to coming back strong.
You know, whenever Tom got hurt, we were all shocked. You know, he's been driving for 24 years. And then all of a sudden, whenever he got hurt, we were worried. We put Colton Eichelberger, his son, in the seat, and nobody knew how he was going to do, but he filled the shoes excellently. In our series, he came down to the last freestyle, and he was the last truck in freestyle, and it depended on how his freestyle was if we won the series championship or not. We didn't win, but at the end of the day, we showed that Max D is going to overcome everything, like everybody knows. And then when Tom came back during the summer, his second show being back in that truck, we won a double down, racing and freestyle, and it was amazing. And we're here to end this year with another double down. That's our whole goal, and everybody leave here a Max D fan.
And now the work never stops for you as a crew chief. So let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen after tonight's event. We still have about 6 weeks left until the start of quarter one. What's going to be on your schedule between now and that first show?
You know, the whole goal of this show that I'm looking at is we're going to weed out all of the weak parts. So Tom's going to go out and go as big as he can to break everything he can, so that way he gets all new to start the new year in 2018. So we're going to take every nut and bolt out of this truck and check every part to make sure that this truck can go back out. There's not going to be any downtime between now and January 1.
All right, Josh Dyke, best of luck to you and Tom Mez. Coming back with a vengeance, Max D and Tom Mez. Now we're going to get up close and personal to some of the biggest stars in Monster Jam. Up first, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior driver, Bryce Kenny.
Let's get ready to run feel the fires into the red.
Bryce, welcome back to Minneapolis. Can you believe it's been a year since you first debuted this amazing Great Clips Mohawk Warrior truck right here in Minneapolis? It's been an exciting year, right?
It really has. I've been looking forward all year to get back here in Minneapolis. I even came here and figured I'd support Viking Nation a little bit with some purple in the Mohawk. And, you know, we're just having a blast. Minneapolis will forever be extremely special for me and for the team as a whole. And Great Clips, right across my chest, they're headquartered right here. So every time that we come here to Minneapolis, it's like a big giant family reunion. So couldn't be happier to be anywhere. Wouldn't rather be anywhere else in the country right now.
Well, let's talk about, you know, your athleticism. To be a Monster Jam driver, there's so much more than just getting behind the wheel. What do you have to do to prep yourself in order to compete tonight?
I'll be honest, when I first started driving a Monster Jam truck, I heard everyone kind of being called athletes, and I really underestimated just how physically taxing it is to drive one of these Monster Jam trucks. But, you know, every time I strap into that Great Clips Mohawk Warrior machine, you know, I really am appreciative of all the days in the gym. I've always said, hey, you kind of feed the body, the body will feed you. And so it's actually just as much about nutrition as it is. But you got to get in the gym. You got to get healthy. Because, you know, at the end of freestyle, I want to be ready to go bigger. I want to be ready to go faster. The only way you do that is to know that, you know, this next jump's just going to be bigger and better than the other one.
Hey, well, best of luck to you tonight. Give it up for Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk. Or up next, it's time to get to know Lindsay Wink and a Lucas Oil Crusader.
My name is Lindsay Wink. I'm from Denair, California, and I drive Lucas Oil Crusader. My brother got me into the sport 18 years ago when he had to give up his job driving. Got me the seat to drive for him, and ever since then, I started in foremost Alberta, Canada, and it's exploded into what it is today. The fans expect competitive racing for sure, and as I expect that for myself. And then freestyle, they want a wild and crazy run, and that's what I tend to give them. For me and Lucas Oil Crusader is all about winning the championship series and then stepping up to Vegas and hitting that home run.
Lindsey Wink and Lucas Oil Crusader at the Monster Jam live stage. With all those overall event championships you have, you are now competing for points at Monster Jam. How does that change your strategy with Monster Jam?
At shows like this is our end-all show for the year. Everyone wants to finish 2017 strong. We had a great 2017. We won here last year, which I think kind of shot-putted us into just a great season overall. A lot of great trucks here, but we got to go out there and race. We got to go out there and two-wheel compete, and we got to go out there and freestyle. If you're good at racing and you suck at freestyle, you're not going to win because it's overall points. So be competitive in all three. Try to be the top of all three, and chances are you'll be the overall champ.
Speaking of freestyle, as you're in the stands, you're in your Monster Jam truck watching other Monster Jam drivers, how does that get you ready for Monster Jam? Do you get more ideas by watching them out there doing freestyle?
Yeah, we don't exactly know how the ramps are going to react with the trucks. We might have a different idea in our head how it's going to happen, and when you go out there and see trucks do it, you see a way to do it. You probably see a way to do it better. And if things get repetition and overdone, you're not going to go out there and do it. So I got asked earlier if I have a strategy when I go out there. Not really, because someone before me could do the exact same thing, and then I'm out of luck. So a couple hits in, after that, we just kind of point and shoot. You're going to see backflips tonight, of course, big air, and all sorts of crazy stuff. That's what's great about Monster Jam. You just never know what you're going to get.
We will see what happens from Lindsey Wink and Lucas Oil Crusader. Up next, let's get to know Brad Allen and Brutus.
Where the drivers came from, how you got involved. So talk a little bit about your start, how you got involved, and how you got behind the seat of Brutus.
Actually, I was a fan at first. I went to a couple Ford Field shows, watched Jim and Chris, the creators of Team Scream there, and hung out for a while. Family friend, knew them pretty good, and just hung out, helped them work, take tires off, just doing all the small stuff at first, and it kind of just hooked on me, and here I am now.
You've been able to work with some of the best in the business, some of the best drivers in Monster Jam. What is some of the best advice you've been given by anybody that's been in a truck, been in a crew chief, just something that has stuck with you through the years?
I just never give up, man. It's always, from a little kid, I've seen it on TV and thought it'd be cool, and never really got rid of it out of my mind, but it's always been there, and never give up. And plus, once you're in that truck, try to scare yourself every chance you can, because it makes you a better driver.
All right, Brad, looking forward to seeing you tonight in Racing Freestyle and Two Wheels. Up next, let's learn more about Team Hot Wheels Firestorm driver Scott Buteau.
I'm Scott Buteau, and I drive Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. I would say that my biggest accomplishment driving for Monster Jam has been 2016, the back-to-back victories that we had in freestyle. The one thing that I'm striving for, what I think everybody is eventually having a freestyle championship. I would like to be known for being the best Hot Wheels driver there ever has been, and one day to be considered the champ. And people ask me all the time, what's my favorite thing with Monster Jam? And it's got to be the freestyle. It's just not doing what you do for 2 minutes. It's the excitement and the roar of the crowd. The louder they are, the higher we go. And obviously the backflip is something we pride ourselves on with Team Hot Wheels. So it gets exciting every time.
And here he is, Scott Buteau, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. Scott, I got a question for you. What is it that motivates you when you strap yourself in the truck before competition?
You know, we get to ask a question all the time, and it's pretty simple. It's right here, fans like this. I was sitting up here talking to his parents. This is Nevea, by the way. Her name is Heaven, spelled backwards, so Nevea. So this is what motivates us. This is what Monster Jam's all about. It's all about the fans and all about family.
I couldn't agree with you more. It is all about the fans here at Monster Jam. Let's go into competition. We've got the brand new two-wheel skills competition debuting here in Minneapolis for the first time. Is that going to be your favorite for tonight? Are we shooting for freestyle or racing?
You know what's great about Monster Jam? You know, we're always going to the next level and always raising the ceiling of what we do. So we added a two-wheel competition, something that they did in the arena. So it's exciting. It kind of gives you a little bit of a teaser for freestyle, but without a doubt, freestyle is what it's all about. The louder you guys here in Minneapolis, the higher we gotta go. Are you guys ready?
Next up, it's time to meet Todd LeDuc and Mutant.
Todd LeDuc and Mutant. Todd, you're known as a racer. When you line up to race, is there somebody you don't want to see lining up across from you?
Not particularly. You know, I pride myself on taking my job seriously and trying to go out there and win every round as I can. And I race everybody the same. If it's from the first round all the way to the final, you know, I just try to be spot on, not make mistakes in that Mutant Super Soda truck, and hopefully bring Cruz and Swayze, my kids at home, a trophy.
Now, you've been all over the globe with Monster Jam, and you just got back, coming back from overseas. How do those international fans appreciate you and Monster Jam?
The international fans, to be honest, they love us. They love Monster Jam. We love them back, and it's the same thing. The fans are the same. They make the awesome big posters for us to sign, and you know, I try to pick out those people that are holding up cool signs and wave to them and give them a special appreciation. But international, domestic, I love all the fans. It's amazing, and hopefully I keep doing some more international shows.
Todd LeDuc and Mutant. Well, fans, we know you fans are amazed at what these Monster Jam trucks can do on the track week in and week out, putting on incredible performances. But the drivers will tell you it's not just what happens behind the wheel. The technology of today's Monster Jam truck and the hard work of the crew chiefs and technicians allow these Monster Jam drivers to compete at the highest level possible. Now, for more on this, let's send it back down to our behind-the-scenes pit reporter, Scott Jordan.
One of my favorite parts of my job is being right here in the middle of the action. And right now I want to give you fans in the stadium and you fans watching at home on Facebook Live an exclusive look inside one of the haulers here in the backstage area. Of course, this hauler belongs to Lucas Oil Crusader and Lindsey Wink. So take a step inside and we will get a better look as to some of these parts that go in here. This area right behind me, this is where those 800-pound BKT tires will go in at the end of the night. They'll be stacked up one on top of another. And you see we have all these shocks up here on the wall for spare parts as well. Now, when the night is over, they'll bring the BKT tires in. They'll bring the AV in as well and the tool cart. Then they'll bring that Lucas Oil Crusader Monster Jam truck right up on top of it. All of it fits comfortably inside this hauler. We have some more parts here. Let's take a look in one of these drawers so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Starters and alternators, all the spare parts that these guys are going to need are stacked in these drawers. And we have a transmission. You can get a good look inside the transmission. This is the torque converter. This will slide right up in that transmission as the guys need to replace that as it is. It'll be right here when they need it. If you want to see what one of the Monster Jam truck seats looks like right here, this is a seat that Lindsey Wink could be occupying later on if they need to submit in that. Of course, a 7-point safety harness keeping him very safe, so he's not going anywhere, and we don't have to worry about the safety because that is our number one priority. So here's your sneak peek inside one of these haulers. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Again, I'll be bringing you all the breaking news and interviews back here. Now let's get back to meeting all those great drivers. Let's meet Max D's Tom Mintz.
Tom Metz from Paxton, Illinois. I drive for Team Max D, a Monster Jam's only World Finals 11-time champion. I'd love to be known for chaotic driving, crazy over-the-top stunts. Anything that's possible, I want to be the guy that does it. 100% my favorite Monster Jam competition ever is freestyle. I love to get out there, drive with my heart, not with my brain. 100% my driving style. There's no plan, no looking back. Nothing's out of the way that I will not attempt to do. I'll give it my all, make sure that everybody loves it. Never give up. Doesn't matter where you come from, where you want to go. It doesn't matter what you want to do in life. But always look forward, stay motivated, and never let anybody tell you can't do something.
That's right. You know who it is. Tom Mintz and Max D. Tom, welcome to Minneapolis. I know you're so excited to be back here again, but we've got something new for these fans, and that's the two-wheel skills competition tonight. You got to tell these fans why it's so different.
It's super cool. It's almost like a best trick contest. Every single driver in Monster Jam truck gets to go out here and do their best maneuver their best skill that they can do on only 2 wheels. It can be a cyclone donut that's on 2 wheels. It can be a popper where you ride the front end on 2 wheels. It can be a reverse wheelie. It can be a standard wheelie, slap wheelie. So many cool, interesting ways of 2-wheel skills. It's just developing by the event. It's all came from Monster Jam University, and I'm super proud tonight because these fans, they're going to see some epic stuff.
So what's the trick to keeping your truck balanced on 2 wheels?
Practice is always key. You know, more importantly, a lot of foot, hand-eye coordination. When you're balancing a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck on only 2 wheels, you got to be on top of your game. And, you know, and if nothing else, when the Minneapolis Monster Jam fans, they get excited, they get the driver pumped up, and they're going to get a great 2-wheel competition.
Hey, best of luck to you tonight on keeping those wheels balanced. Give it up one more time for Tom Mintz and Max D. Up next, it's time to get to know Leo Donald's VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist.
From my hand, why don't people understand my intention?
Leo Donald.
Here we are, Lee O'Donnell and VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist. Lee, you are the defending freestyle champion from US Bank Stadium here in February and also the World Finals freestyle champion. Does that add any extra pressure to you tonight?
No, I don't think so. You know, we just kind of come out here with the VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist and put a good show on for the fans. And, you know, if it's your night, it's your night. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll lay a good run down tonight.
Speaking of if it's your night, 13 other Monster Jam drivers, do you have any rivalries? Is there anybody you really want to beat tonight?
As you can see in the lineup, everybody's going to be tough. Ryan's been on fire. Lindsey Wink, I think, is probably my rival. God, I love beating that guy. He never makes mistakes. He's so spot on. So, Lindsey, tonight, you're not going to win.
That's it for Lee O'Donnell and VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist. Now let's get to know Corey Rummel in Rage.
Rage. Going to rage.
Corey, a few weeks ago in Green Bay, you won your first freestyle event. I know that was a feel-good moment for you. Does that give you any type of incentive to win big here tonight?
Oh, man, it definitely does. That was a great weekend I had, and you know what? That gives me a lot of just motivation to go out there and rock this place. I've never been here in Minneapolis, and I want to leave my mark and give each and every one of you fans one heck of a show.
You built Rage right behind us. Your fans take a good look. You built Rage from the ground up, so you're basically your own crew member. Does that give you any type of advantage over the competition?
It definitely does, because I can pretty much, if I feel anything, I know what to look for, I know how to drive, and if I think something's wrong, I can drive accordingly and make something cool happen, because I want to go out there and rock this thing.
All right, Corey Rummel looking for your second freestyle win tonight in Minnesota. Next up, we have Lindsey Reed in Wonder Woman.
My name is Lindsey Reed. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I'm driving Wonder Woman. I would like to be known just as a really good female role model for everybody. I have 3 daughters of my own, so I want to show them that you can really do anything that you set yourself out to do. I do have some rituals that I have to do just by the way that I set all my safety gear up, from, you know, my head sock to my gloves and everything. Like, I put it all on a certain way when I get in the truck, so that way I know that I didn't forget anything and everything is safe and I'm good to go out there. Success really is what you want to do. So, you know, any dream that you have and you accomplish it, that would be success. That's your own personal success. So, you know, whether you want to come out here and be a driver and win every event, or if you just want to come out here and put on a good run and know that you did really good for yourself and you put on a really good show for the crowd, that's a success right there.
Here she is, Lindsey Reed and Wonder Woman, the brand new truck of Monster Jam. Lindsey, it's got to be super cool driving the noble Wonder Woman truck. How exciting has it been throughout the season so far?
You know, it's been great. We got to debut Wonder Woman in July, and it was such an amazing experience. You know, she's a bold, just iconic character, and to be able to come out here and show all these women out here that we can do this too, it's awesome.
All right, you got to tell these fans who this little nugget is right here.
This is Dakota, my daughter. She's 9 months, and she is my biggest fan.
I can totally see that. Doesn't she travel everywhere with you?
She does, yeah. She's always on the road with us. My husband comes along, and he's my biggest supporter as well.
It looks to me like she wants to be a host someday. Do you see it? I see it. I see it. All right, let's go back to competition. You know, you haven't been driving in a stadium for too long. What is it that you've learned about your abilities competing right here in a stadium?
You know, I had a great teacher, Tom Mentz, an 11-time world champ. He taught me everything I knew at MJU. So coming out here, I know how to hit everything right. I just got to calm myself down, bring it all together, and do the best that I can for everybody here tonight.
Hey, good luck to you, girlfriend. Give it up for Lindsay Reed and Wonder Woman. Up next, it's time to get to know Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
Adam Anderson, Poplar Branch, North Carolina, and drive for Team Gravedigger. My background in Monster Jam is Monster Jam my entire life. I'm 31 years old, and my dad created Gravedigger 35 years ago, so this is all I know is Monster Jam and monster trucks, and I'm glad to be a part of it. It was a choice, and you know, there's times when I was younger and I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I'm here. I've been driving for 12 years now, and I don't think I'm going to stop anytime soon. What separates me from the rest of the roster out here is I'd say just the experience. When I say experience, there's some of these guys that may have been driving longer than I have, but I've watched it my entire life. And that's where you learn. It's not only to watch others, to learn from them and learn from their mistakes, and but you watch yourself, man. And you know, I just know what these trucks are capable of. I've worked on these trucks. I know what it takes to fix them, and I know what it takes to break them.
Adam Anderson at Gravedigger. This ends this night, tonight, the 35th anniversary tour this year for Gravedigger. What is next for Gravedigger fans?
You know, every year it gets bigger and badder, and it's mainly because of these fans coming out here. And for 35 years of support from all these great Gravedigger fans out here and all the people that are in here tonight and all across the world, you know, I can only expect bigger and badder things. This is my last ride in Gravedigger number 32 tonight. We've actually built Gravedigger number 35 on the 35th anniversary. I'm going to christen it in a couple weeks.
Also a big week coming up after tonight. Your birthday is coming up this week. How do you plan to celebrate your birthday?
By taking a nap in my recliner.
Fans, let's hear for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. Fans, we are getting ready for Monster Jam here, the 4th time ever at US Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Welcome back to the Monster Jam Live Facebook page here at the main stage as we are gearing up. 14 Monster Jam trucks will be competing tonight here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, US Bank Stadium. This is a part of the show. We're going to give you our predictions on who we think is going to win tonight for racing and freestyle. We want you fans posting on Facebook who you think is also going to win. Now, of these 14 Monster Jam drivers are competing here tonight. 11 of them competing at this past Monster Jam World Finals 18 at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, as they're getting ready for next year's Monster Jam World Finals 19. We also have with us a total of 21 World Finals champions competing here tonight. And we also have the reigning World Finals racing champion, Ryan Anderson, and Son of a Digger, and the freestyle world champion, Lee O'Donnell, and VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist. It's going down. We will see who's going to win. Right now, let's send it down to Scott Jordan. Scott, who do you like tonight in racing and freestyle?
Keith, this is a tough one. We do have a stacked field here tonight. It's as stacked as I've ever seen it in my first year in Monster Jam. Talking about the track, we heard a little earlier from Adam Anderson and Ryan Anderson. It is a little tacky. That means it's sticky. The Chicago-style racing track is won in the turns, and 2 of the fastest drivers in the turns are the Andersons. And again, in racing, as I said before, when you're the champion, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and no one has yet to dethrone Ryan Anderson. That's who I'm going with in racing. As far as freestyle, Tom Mentz got a little started in freestyle in practice last night, so I think he's ready to get out there and put on a show and tear it up. So I'm going to go with the veteran. Tom Mentz, the 11-time World Finals champion, is going to put on a show tonight and send these fans home incredibly happy for our final Monster Jam show of the year.
He's been behind the scenes for the last 2 days, so he might have something. He might know about it. That's Scott Jordan, our behind-the-scenes pit reporter. Well, for racing tonight, he's won here before, and he has 7 overall event championships, and he's won his last 2 racing championships. Lindsey Wink and Lucas Oil Crusader, I think, is going to take home the racing championship. And then for freestyle, I think it's going to be Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger who will take it down tonight for freestyle. But it's not just who we think is going to win racing and freestyle. We want to see who you, the fans, think is going to win tonight. Taylor Mock, who are the fans saying tonight is going to win racing and freestyle?
That's right, Keith. Here at Monster Jam, it is all about the fans, and that's why I'm hanging out with y'all in the stands tonight. And I want to know your picks. Let's start over here. What's your name?
Sean.
All right, Sean. So who do you think is going to win the brand new two-wheel skills competition?
I'll go Jim in Adventure.
Jim and Adventure. Okay, what about you for freestyle?
Son of a Digger.
Son of a Digger. Moving on. Your pick for racing.
Son of Digger.
Ooh, Son of a Digger fans out there? And last pick, what do you think for freestyle tonight?
Mad Scientist.
VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist. As you can see, it is all across the board tonight. And guess what? We are not done yet. We're going to get to know 4 more athletes tonight. Next up, please help me welcome Mr. Wrecking Crews, Mr. Mike Thompson.
So, some of the fans here for the first time seeing you tonight, how would you describe your driving style to them? It's their first chance to see you in the Wrecking Crew Monster Jam truck, so they're coming in with those brand new eyes. You got to impress them. I know that we talked at Pit Party. How do you feel? How would you describe that?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. Usually I'm pretty conservative, try not to tear too much stuff up and put on a good show. Tonight, last show of the year, I'm not going to hold it back. I'm going to do what I got to do to win and show them that Mike Thompson is someone to see, someone to keep an eye on.
Now, there are 55,000 fans here tonight. A lot of them are kids, and a lot of these kids out there would do anything to trade places with you. So what goes through your mind when you're performing in front of these kids and racing and freestyle, knowing that they would give anything to be inside Wrecking Crew?
You know, it's definitely pretty cool to have all these kids look up to me. Any of these kids can go out there, stay on the right track, get a good education. They can be in the same spot I am. I'm just out there trying not to let them down, trying to make them stand on their feet, scream and holler, and hopefully that's what I can do.
All right, Mike Thompson, Wrecking Crew, representing Team Scream, coming out for the first time for some of you fans. Speaking of Team Scream, let's meet the captain, Jim Kohler in Avenger.
Here he is, Team Scream's Jim Kohler and Avenger. Jim, this has been an incredible night for you so far because you already have a win, and that's the 20th anniversary for you competing in Monster Jam. That's got to be exciting.
Oh, yeah, it's been a great 20 years, you know, and last night to get the top qualifying spot, too fast for you. I'm ready to rock this place. These fans in Minneapolis, I was here when we closed down the Metrodome. I'm happy to be back in this beautiful new building they have, and we're going to show them what Avenger can do because I've had some of my best freestyles here because these fans get super, super loud and super crazy, right?
So, Jim, what has been the most memorable experience? I mean, you've had several, especially here in Minneapolis, but if you had to pick one in all of your 20 years, what would it be?
You know, 2008 here at the Metrodome, I had a freestyle of the year. It actually got that award at Vegas for doing what I did. I rolled over 2 times, but made it back to my wheels, had a save, did every trick in the book, the big air, the whole 9 yards. I hope to bring that back today and do that. So right here, the fans in Minneapolis, it's 20 years for me. You guys rock. We love you. Yeah!
Give it up one more time for Mr. Jim Kohler and Avenger. Up next, it's time to get to know Son of a Digger's Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, the reigning Racing World Finals champion, just got back there from Vegas. Wouldn't you love to see more of these Twin City fans out in Vegas for World Finals?
Absolutely, man. Like I said earlier, I've been coming here since I was in diapers, and there's tons of fans here that created Gravedigger. These guys here made it, man. They made me, and for you guys to come out and see the epitome of Monster Jam in Las Vegas World Finals, you guys would love it, man. You guys already have an awesome show here, and the only one that could top it has got to be Monster Jam World Finals.
What advice would you give a fan out there that wants to be a Monster Jam racer?
Well, obviously, you know, most of the time it's some younger kids that want to drive, and I love that. And I always tell them every time, you got to go all the way through school, and you got to be good, listen to everything mom and dad tell you to do, and then start hanging out with us.
come to the shows, check us out, let us recognize you, and we'll start bringing you underneath our wing, and maybe one day you'll drive with us.
Let's give it up one more time for Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. Up next, let's learn more about BJ Johnson and Gas Monkey Garage.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
BJ Johnson from Chowchilla, California. I drive the Gas Monkey Garage Monster Jam muscle car. I was kind of lucky. I've been racing since I was like 6 years old, kind of into all kind of motorsports. My family had a motorsports background. I love doing good in all the events. My favorite event is racing. You know, I've been a racer my whole life, and it makes you become a driver. Freestyle is fun because you can do whatever you want. But racing it, you know who can drive a truck, and racing with all the track conditions that are constantly changing. The best part about competition is just beating your best friend. I'm honored when I get to run with Tom Mentz and Dennis Anderson and all the guys that paved the way for all of us over the years. And it's more bragging rights than anything else. You know, if I beat them one weekend, then you know it's going to be war the next weekend with guys. I always tell everybody, come to a show one time and I guarantee you're going to come back. You're going to remember highlights throughout the night. And I always make sure when the fans leave that they're happy. If I can finish my freestyle, finish racing, and see people cheering and happy and they're smiling, then I know I did my job.
BJ, it's nice to see the camaraderie back here before the show, but let's get down to business. There's been a lot of changes in Monster Jam over the last couple of years. What kind of changes have you noticed, especially with the Monster Jam trucks?
You know, the trucks come a long ways. We've done a lot of different shock technology, trying to take abuse out of the drivers so we can go bigger and a little bit more wild in the stands and really fill it out, fill the track out. I want everybody to go nuts, you know, so the better that the truck can land, it makes it better for us, and, you know, and that's what we want. At the end of the night, we want to be a good show, but we don't want to be beat up either.
So with 55,000 here in attendance and, you know, who knows how many watching at home, a lot of fans around the world, it's a very important question for you to tell your fans and your closest friends. What is it, BJ Johnson, that you want for Christmas?
You know, I've really have kind of thought about it this year, and I'd like a new pickup. You know, my wife's here, and hopefully she's paying attention, and we're riding something new for next year.
All right, the gauntlet's down. If anybody's buying out there, he wants a pickup truck for Christmas. Once again, BJ Johnson, Gas Monkey Garage.
And now that we've gotten to know the competition field for tonight, it is time to get to know some very important people, and that is our Monster Jam fans of the night. All right, so I've got Louis Jr., Cassie, and of course Louis's wife over here to tell us how awesome this story is. If you've never been to Monster Jam World Finals, they're going to tell you all the reasons why you need to purchase your tickets. Louis, you've got your ticket here for 2018 Monster Jam World Finals. Now you got to tell us, how awesome is it every year and how different is it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
How different is it every year for the Monster Jam World Finals and why you keep going back?
We just keep going. You know, the drivers are so friendly. Pretty much every monster truck that's there. We get to see all the drivers, all the trucks. We get to go do some things as a family outside of Vegas in addition to the monster trucks. So it's just a great time. If you've never had an opportunity to get out there, it's definitely worth the trip.
And how many years have you been coming to a Minneapolis Monster Jam show?
Probably about 9 or 10 years. We started bringing Cassie when she was about 3 or 4, and we've been hooked ever since.
10 years. Wow. All right, Cassie, I know you got this amazing story to tell these fans. Now, how did you get your first ticket to Monster Jam World Finals?
Well, 5 years ago, December 1st, 2012, Mark McDonald won racing, my favorite truck, as you can see. He came right up to me and gave me a ticket for the World Finals.
That is incredible. So your first ever Monster Jam World Finals was given to you from one of our Monster Jam superstars, Mark McDonald. And of course, you brought the whole family. Now, what else did you do in Las Vegas?
We went out in the desert and did some dune buggy. We went horseback riding, saw some shows on the Strip, just the Hoover Dam, some of that other stuff.
Wow, that's an incredible ultimate family spring break vacation, and you too can go grab your tickets right now at monsterjam.com for our Monster Jam World Finals 19.
Thank you so much for watching this edition of Monster Jam Live. Now, for results of tonight's event, be sure to go to monsterjam.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to catch all the highlights and news from Monster Jam. And be sure to keep checking back on Facebook for the next edition of Monster Jam Live as we are gearing up for an amazing 2018 season of Monster Jam. And there will definitely be more Monster Jam Live shows. Thank you so much for tuning in across the globe, and for you fans right here at US Bank Stadium, we are getting ready for Monster Jam.